We are now at Agentic AI on the AI roadmap. However, most companies are not using it correctly. And for the ones that are, most people inside the company don't know how to use agents to automate their work. They pick something big and important, and then when AI does a mediocre job at it, they think the tool's just not ready yet. In reality, it turns out that the tool is fine, but the pick that they chose was wrong. There's a specific kind of work that AI is really good at automating. And once you can recognize it, the automation possibilities are endless. Today, I'll show you my 3-question automation checklist that you can follow so you can start automating your work today. So without further ado, let's dive in. So here are the 3 questions. Write them down because they are the entire video. The 3 things I'm checking for: number 1, is it recurring? If it's a recurring process that you have weekly, monthly, the chances of being automated, great, yes. Number 2, is the process the same? The numbers may change, but is the overall structure and the steps the same? Yes. Let's move on to step 3. Could you hand it off completely? If the answer is yes to all 3 of these, then you have a great workflow that you can move on with automation. So now you have your checklist and you know what workflows you can automate. Now let's actually talk about how we can automate something. So 6 steps, right? Number 1, connect to all your data sources. Whether you're using Claude or Codex or Cursor or Copilot, they have connectors built in where you connect your email or your Slack or your Teams or anything like that. So all your data sources can be consolidated into a place that your AI can read. Second, all of your project files, put it into a single folder. That way, your AI can see all of the relevant files in one place. Third, this one is most important. Give it a finished example. You've been doing this for, let's say, a month. Give it last month's version. If it's done right, this will have a set template that your AI can take number 1 and 2 and put it into a finished example for you. 4, prompt it and tell it exactly what you want it to do. You already have all your data sources, you have your project files, and you have a finished output. Now just tell Claude exactly what it is you want it to do. 5, AI is kind of like a really smart intern. First pass, it's probably going to mess up. So make sure you review the output that it gave you the first time. And after a few iterations, it's going to be exactly what it is you want. And lastly, turn it into a repeatable skill. Save the instructions so you never have to write it again. So when next month comes, all you got to do is add your new project files and run the skill, and then boom, automatically done. Okay. So for today's example, I'm going to be using Claude, specifically Claude Code. If you wanted to, you could also use Claude Cowork here as well. Just know that you'll need to be on the Pro plan at minimum $20 a month to use these features, but your company, they really should be paying for you anyway, so make sure you double check if they're not. You can also use Codex or Cursor. They follow very similar formatting or template to this, but for today's use case, we'll be using Claude. So for this use case, let's pretend that every month I have to put together a budget summary for a vendor rollout, complete with actuals against plan, vendors versus vendor, are we on track, what's changed, what are all the risks, etc. So in this project folder, I have a bunch of different files. You have your budget review notes, your summary, some emails, some invoices, even an Excel file with a bunch of the invoices collected by different vendors, the dates they received, etc. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that our Claude is connected to the right folder, to which I've already set it up right here in this vendor summary folder. Hit select folder. It'll probably ask you if you want to trust it. Just go ahead and press yes. So now that you have all of your project files connected to this folder, next, you want to make sure that you have all of your connectors added. You can add your connectors by going down to the bottom right and opening up the settings, going to the connectors tab, and then adding all of your relevant connectors. If you're in the Microsoft suite, make sure to add Microsoft 365 because this will contain SharePoint, OneDrive, Outlook, and Teams all directly in Claude, which is quite nice because then you don't have to install 4 different connectors. You can just install this one and it's automatically added. If you're on a different suite, you can go ahead and add your Google Calendar or your Slack or your Gmail, whatever you're using, go ahead and connect it. Okay. So now with your project folder and you have all of your connectors added, next is pretty simple. As we talked about in step 3, we need to give it a finished example. Real quick, if you're finding this helpful, I put out 1 practical AI video a week. So if you want more videos just like this, go ahead and subscribe. Now back to the video. So here's an example of a summary I put together for last month. So you have your total spend, your variance, your vendors on plan flat, key call out section, Northwind, it's renewed through Q3 at the same rate, no increase, great. Cascade, onboarding done early, cool, yada, 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 yada. Actuals versus plan, great. We are on track for all of our vendors, amazing. And then Outlook, nothing flagged into August, everything's good. Format for next month, it's the same. Great. So now, number 1, connect to data sources, check. Number 2, put it all in one folder, check. 3, we have a finished example, check. So now 4, let's go ahead and tell it exactly what it is we want it to do. And I know a lot of you are gonna want a finished prompt that you can just type in yourself, but I think it would be a better lesson to teach you how to prompt for yourself. AI is now smart enough where you don't need an exact prompt. And because the models are so smart, that's enough for it to understand what it is you want it to do. So let's go ahead and prompt it like this. It's time for me to put together the budget summary for my vendors. I want you to go through my emails, my DMs, and my project files so that we can put together the summary. I have a completed file summary in this path that I will share below. Please use that as the referenced output. Ask me anything you need. And so what I like to do is I like to copy the file path whenever possible. So if you go to your output and you go to your settings info, you can copy the local path and go ahead and paste it into Claude and then press enter. We'll go ahead and fast forward this part. Okay, so in about 2 minutes, Claude put together the finished file sitting right here. I've yet to open it up, so let's go ahead and take a look at this together. So already you can see that the formatting matches pretty much exactly to our reference template. You have your summary at the top, you have your key callouts, ooh, even something under review. You have your actuals versus plan, and then you have your Outlook callouts. Great, so let's go ahead and go through this, right? So for the month of August, month 3 out of 6, cool. Total spend, oof, looks like we're $1,000 over plan. Looks like one of the vendors needs a follow-up, and it looks like the trend is up. Meridian, it's always Meridian. They're $1,000 over, scope addition under review. Let's see why. Extra environment provisioning line item pushed the invoice $1,000 over contract. Marcus is confirming it's a scope addition before the payment cycle closes. Frickin' Marcus. All of our other vendors, it looks like everything is going great. Foxglove on plan, but the invoice ran a little late. That's okay. We'll let it slide this time. Actuals versus plan, everything looks great except Meridian, $1,000 over. And then it even calls out our Outlook due to our connector that we hooked up to our email. Meridian's $1,000 scope addition needs Marcus's sign off before September payment cycle opens. This is the one item to close out before next month. So I am mostly happy with this output, but there's a few changes that I want to make to this. So let's say I don't like how it mentions prepared by Brian. So let's go ahead and remove that. Let's go back to Claude and we can say, great start. However, I want to remove the prepared by Brian at the top. So go ahead and press enter. Now we're going to do the magic of a jump cut. Okay, so quick pause. Right here, we just got an error from Claude saying the file's currently open in Word, which is blocking the overwrite. Could you close it so I can push the update? I'll reopen it for you. Okay, so 2 things that could happen here. So number 1, let's go ahead and close this file out. Let's say that you don't close a file out. Another option that Claude would do, it would actually create a V2. Pretty much the same thing, just a separate version that it can create an overwrite to. So now that we close the file, let's say closed, go. And now jump cut. Okay, cool. That took a total of like 10 seconds. So now you can see prepared by Brian, all gone. Great. Let's say that this is perfect. I am totally happy with what it put together. Okay, so where are we now, right? Number 1, connect data sources done. All in the folder done. Gave it a finished example done. Tell it what we want done. Review the first pass done. So now step 6 finally is let's turn this into a repeatable skill. So what we want to do is let's go to Claude. And now all we have to say is, let's turn this into a repeatable skill that I can run this every month when I have to do this process. Enter. You know the drill. Okay, great. So Claude was able to create the skill, but not only did it create the skill, but it created 2 Python scripts that it can reference within the skill.md file. Okay, so here's what the skill.md file looks like inside. It's gonna have a bunch of instructions that pretty much tells Claude exactly what it needs to do on a monthly basis, and it's gonna reference the Python scripts in here as well, so it knows exactly what to run in order to create the output that we want it to do. So here you can see all of the steps, the invoice log, the recon, build the document. Here's the Python script to verify before handing back, and any potential issues that could come up when running the skill. So now let's say you have to run this exact process, but this time for September. Now all you have to do is just type /vendor budget summary, and then do the same for the September month. And you go ahead, press enter. It has all of your connections already set up. That's a one-time setup. Connect it to your new project file. From there, run the skill, and boom, automatically done each month, saving you probably hours on a task so you can focus on more important things. To make things really easy for you guys, I put together all of my free resources on this website at briandoeai.com. So if you want access to all of these freebies, including the 6-step process and the 3-question automation checklist from today's video, just go ahead and go to this website and you can access all of my resources for absolutely free. So to wrap everything up, let's talk about exactly everything we've covered. So the 3-question automation checklist. Number 1, is it recurring every month? Yes. Is the process the same? The numbers may change, but the structure doesn't. Yes. And 3, can you hand it off completely? The monthly output's the same. So yes, with all 3 yeses, this is going to be a great workflow to automate. So now that we know what workflows to automate, how do you automate it? So number 1, connect all your data sources. 2, put all of your project files into a single folder. 3, show it what good looks like just by giving it a finished example. 4, tell it is exactly what you want it to do, which is really easy nowadays. 5, review the first pass and fix any mistakes. And number 6, turn it into a repeatable skill so that when the next time you have to run this, all you gotta do is type / and then the skill name, and then you're done. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. That's gonna help the channel a lot, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.